I grew up my whole life fishing, and so when we decided to open a chapter of Kidz Outdoors in Mississippi, it just made sense. Kids and fishing, they go together. What better way to help these kids find their outdoors than by putting them on Clay Wagner's 75-acre lake for a day of bass fishing?
Welcome to Gulf South Outdoors. This week, Gulf South Outdoors has teamed up with Kidz Outdoors, and we've got a team of special needs kids fishing with pros from the local bass clubs and the high schools. Great weather, the fish are biting, the kids are having a great time. You'll like this.
My name's Carol Clark. We're founders of Kidz Outdoors. We're a national organization and we are a 501c3. Our goal in life is to get children in the outdoors. We raise funds and send our special needs kids on dream hunts, fishing trips, anything that will get them in the outdoors. We're here boosting our new Mississippi chapter. We are so excited to have this and proud to be a part.
This isn't our first go-around with Kidz Outdoors. Last year we were first introduced to the organization when we met a young man named Christian Wolfson, who was invited out to Don Gaddy's farm to bag his first red stag deer ever.
Christian, when he was born, they diagnosed him with hydrocephalus, so it's just like water on the brain. And Dr. Ben Carson, who was running for president, conducted majority of his surgeries when he was younger. They also diagnosed him with glaucoma, so they had surgeries on his eyes. He had an open heart surgery for a heart murmur, and he had double hernia surgery. And from the time he was born until he was about 5, he had probably in the neighborhood of 20-some surgeries. He was doing relatively good until he was about 7 or 8 years old, and we noticed that he wasn't running correctly. He started carrying his right arm behind him. We went back down to Johns Hopkins Hospital and they diagnosed him with cervical spinal stenosis, which typically affects elderly people in the lower back. It affected him in the neck. His spinal cord swelled within the vertebrae. And his was so aggressive, it swelled to the point where it caused damage in the inner part of his spinal cord. It's irreversible. The end result is basically from his neck down, he's lost so much muscle, not only muscle tone, but muscle movement. After close to 40 surgeries, he can still walk, but it's very labored. He has no movement of his right arm, and his left arm, he can only get up to about here, and his hand movement's very limited. If you know Carol Clark, you immediately fall in love with this person. She has such a bubbly personality. And Carol, I swear if you look at me, I'm gonna start crying again. People are put on this earth for a certain reason, and I truly believe that Carol and Rick are angels. They do so much for so many people, and a lot of folks don't understand how difficult it can be to raise a child that has challenges. Well, we're hoping tomorrow we get up, before daylight and actually get set up, probably 20 minutes before daylight. And, there's some big red stag here. And I know he's excited. He hasn't slept for 2 weeks, and that's another reason why I'm ready to hang him by his toenails. He's anxious.
Getting outdoors gives Christian the chance to do the things that all kids like to do. And boy, did he do it well. He bagged a 500, almost 600-pound red stag deer. He was pretty excited. So I called my good friend Clay Wagner to see if he'd be willing to let these kids fish in his lake. Took him about 3 seconds to say, "You bet."
What better way to help these kids find their outdoors than by putting them on Clay Wagner's 75-acre lake for a day of bass fishing?
Well, I think he was so eager for a couple of reasons. First of all, Clay and Courtney are just good people, and Clay likes to give back. The other reason is, the reality is Clay's got a lot of fish to get out of that lake, and he needs all the help he can get.
You've got to take an awful lot of small fish out of this lake. This year's number that the biologist set for us was 1,500 fish, 15 inches and under. That is a lot of fish.
Well, once we had Clay's Lake set as the venue, then it was time to get us some anglers, and boy, we got a great response. We were really thrilled with it. Then we tried to get a few other sponsors to help us put it together. No one said no. It was amazing.
So I found out about Tony Stevens, who's the director of one of the big tournament series for the high schools. And he came through big time.
Cast and hand it and reel it, whatever you determine is their maximum allowable participation, let them do that. We want them to feel the tug, but more than that, we don't want them to get hurt. Every fish over 17, we want to weigh, log, release, right?
So the day of the bass tournament, I'd been plenty worried about the weather, but we were blessed. The weather was terrific. It was absolutely perfect, and the whole day really went perfect. The kids showed up just like they were supposed to. The kids were a great group. The Bass Club anglers that were there to mentor and be observers, they all showed up. We had more boats than we thought. We had 9 bass boats. We had the Baytoon boat there, so that the kids in wheelchairs had a chance to get offshore and catch a few fish. The whole thing just really came together. The Sherwin-Williams guys did a great job. They helped us run the whole tournament. Greg Williams and his crew, they showed up and cooked us lunch. It was superb, man. We had fried catfish, and then they actually brought up some of our bass. We had hamburgers and hot dogs. It was a feast. Then they went back out and fished again, caught over 100 fish during the day. And a lot of them that they released were big fish, some 5 to 7 pounds. What a day.
The first time I hooked my fish while I was on the boat with Blake, I went to go reel it in, and then it was like a propeller. But I'm like, and then it popped. And then I had another one, that one got off, and then I finally caught that one. I'm like, and I actually caught it on Blake's pole.
Found my speckled trout. Whoop. Little bitty.
Raindrop, drop top, fish flop.
Pretty fish. He needs just to grow another year or so. Won't come back and get him.
Leading up to the day of the event, you know, we had put in so many hours of work and sweat and honestly a couple of tears here and there when, you know, sponsors just fell into place, and it was just kind of one of those things where you just can't explain how everything just manages to somehow work out other than a God moment. And, you know, to be out there and to see all that hard work come together and the kids just having a great time and their parents smiling and having a great time, and just the whole thing, it just, when you stop and just take it all in, it really will bring a tear to your eye, and it makes all those hours of hard work and effort and planning and everything else, it honestly makes it worth it.
Number 9. Yeah. Sammy, number 9. How many is that?
4 and 2 pieces of algae.
Yeah, I got
Algae.
Any over 17?
No.
None?
Good job, Sammy. Good job.
4 fish plus algae.
Awesome.
Can we get prizes?
A little bit later.
Yeah, you're going to get prizes.
You're only halfway through.
You get to fish again, and then we get prizes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got 4 pieces of fish plus
Well,
algae.
You
That long. It must have been.
It's his fishing story.
I'm like, and then look,
Fishing story. friend Sammy, and we're gonna clean up the bass today. Sammy, we're gonna put that fish up here. We'll get right behind this fin. Take that knife down into it. You'll feel its backbone a little bit. Turn it back and just run it right down that fish's backbone like that. Right almost to the end of the tail. Flip it over. Take that knife in and just skin that meat right off of its skin like that.
Lots of blood.
And we end up with a fillet, and then we'll reach right here behind the ribs and just cut them right out. And then you got left with a fillet.
This was awesome.
Fun, huh?
I can see the fish's organs.
Oh yeah.
You think it's gonna taste good?
Yeah.
Oh, they're gonna fry them up.
Bass.
They're gonna be good.
3 words. Soggy Bottom Lodge.
Well, Carol Clark had told us that Soggy Bottom Lodge was nice. Boy, did she undersell it. It was as fine a place as I've been. They had a 7,000 square foot lodge, and then he built a bigger one of 17,000. But it wasn't just the lodge, it was all the activities they had there. They had skeet shooting, they had a sniper demo, they had kayaks, they had a little pony ride, they had face painting, they had just about everything you could think of. What a great day for the kids, and the weather was perfect. They must have had 150 or more kids. What a successful event it was too.
Well, after the success of the Kids Bass Tournament, we were more determined than ever to form a local chapter of Kids Outdoors. So we jumped at Carol Clark's invitation to the kids' annual event at Soggy Bottom Lodge and headed up to Linden, Alabama. Each year, Kids Outdoors hosts a fun event for the kids that also serves as their primary fundraiser for the year. With Soggy Bottom Lodge owner J.R. Rivas' generous support, they were able to double the size of this event from last year's.
I'm really impressed with the place because the people here are really looking out for your kids, and it's comfortable. They're not staring at your kids asking, you know, what's wrong with them and that kind of thing. There's tons of other kids in wheelchairs and things like that, so it's just comfortable. Parents are going through the same things we're going through. Our normal day is not typical. It's you know, medications and hospitals and doctor visits and just basic daily living kind of things of transporting from the car to the wheelchair to the all of those things that we have to take care of everything for them. And wouldn't change a bit, but this organization has really made me feel comfortable bringing my children around. They really are looking out for them, really doing a lot for them. My son loves the outdoors. The event in Mississippi was awesome. He got to stay outdoors all day. He didn't have a single seizure all day. He had the best day.
Well, JR had volunteered to host this event last year, and when he finally got a taste of it, he loved Carol and loved the program, and he immediately signed up to do it again this year. And as best I can tell, they doubled the size of the event. It was something to behold. JR is a fine guy. He's got his heart in the right place. He loves the kids, and he put this whole thing together. A lot of it, he wouldn't even tell Carol what he had planned. He wanted to surprise her.
And my name is J.R. Rivas. We are Soggy Bottom Lodge here at Kids Outdoors event today doing the fundraiser. Soggy Bottom was here established back in 2013, and we had created a place mostly for kids and families to come here and gather where they can feel that we are actually doing something to help initiate a, what would you say, give me Yes, interaction with children, be able to teach them what the outdoors is all about, to also respect the game and fish that we have in our state. Have the opportunity to build this with the help of other people in our community, and it's, at this point we just want to give back. Well, in reality, the fact that we met the Clarks back in 2 years ago, they came down for a raffle that we had given away, and their grandson had won the raffle and came over here and harvested a really nice buck. At that time, we were able to engage in a conversation to know exactly what they were doing for children, and we were glad that we have met them. They are very sincere in what they do, and I believe that at this point what they want to do is pass something on to other people, expecting nothing in return, and that is very humble and very honorable of them. So we just want to partner up with them and do the best we can to serve them, to help them, support them in any way we can. At the end of the day, we're giving back to the community, we're giving back to children. And I always said, you know, us being humans and being men, we do a lot of wrong things in our lifetime. But when you do right for a child, you can never do wrong.
And one of the things was the sniper demo. This guy is incredible. He served in Iraq and has the record for the longest kill shot with a .308. It was about 3/4 of a mile, maybe a little over that. And I found it fascinating watching him show these kids how to fire that rifle and hit things at like 400 yards or thereabouts. They did a great job.
So what we're doing today is we've got a couple of rifles out here that are a lot like the match rifles that Melissa and I shoot in the Precision Rifle Series. And we're just allowing these kids to come out here and give them the confidence with the equipment, and the confidence in themselves to actually be able to do some of the things like we do. And for instance, today we're shooting a 435-yard target. It's about an 18-inch square target. And these kids are coming out here. We're giving a real quick class on how to hold the rifle, what to do, and if there's a wind, what to do for the wind. And then we're letting them shoot and hit that target. And just the smile on their face, the confidence they gain from knowing that 4.5 football fields, there you go, buddy, they can hit a target. And it's amazing to see them, their faces light up and the glow, and just, you know, it's a good time for them. It's a great time for us as well.
So as you've seen, the inaugural Mississippi Kids Outdoors Bass Tournament was a roaring success. We can't wait for the tournament again next year and to add more kids events. After attending Soggy Bottom, we can't wait for the future of our very own chapter. For more information, check out our website or the Facebook page at the links below. See you next week.